Hi, just an update. It's Saturday the 30th. Quite amazed how these things have started to grow again. These are the ones that are in my new propagator. They've done quite well at the moment. Notice the testudine area there is not doing too well. I'm hoping I'm not going to lose it. It's losing a little bit of what's it down there. It's not looking too good, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. The other one is really doing well. Beautiful looking plant. If I put it next door to its mate, hopefully it might buck the mate up. See plenty of leaves. Also, I got on this euphorbia, which I picked up a year or so ago, completely lost its roots, but it looks like it may have rooted and just started to put out a couple of leaves. A similar species at the moment, which is doing very well, or was doing very well, it's about to go into dormancy. As you can see, some of the leaves are starting to go yellow and they will drop off. Peeping into under the covers, stuff in there seems to be doing quite well. And I say, I think it was a good buy that I got this, but as I said before, I've got to modify it, put a bit of wood or something underneath where this basis is. It's too low. It's ideal for a tray of seedlings or something like that, but for some interesting plants it's not. My Pachypodium ghostmen, they're looking good. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Namaquanum, Pachypodium namaquanum, there's the other one there. They're known as ghost men in South Africa, and they tend to lean all facing one direction. I don't know if they're north or south, but they do tend to lean. Very interesting plants. I've got a picture of this in the book by Schwantes, showing this plant growing, and at the base is Herianthus mayeri, or Conophytum herii. I wish they wouldn't change the names. I tend to be of the old school. I'm getting too old to memorise various name changes. Anyhow, this is really put in for my own use, but I will put it up so you can all look at it. It is a record of what's happening. The old thermostat seems to be alright. This is the controller. Let me see if I can make it liven up. There, I don't know if you can see that. 23 degrees C and 22. It's quite good. It stays on so long and it goes click and turns off. We'll really find out if it's any good if we get any cold weather. Anyway, the main reason for coming down here was to look at the conophytums, or rather the flowers on them. It's always nice to put stuff up that's in bloom. Here we've got two plants side by side. Typical flower colours of conophytum, invariably purple, pink, another one there. These are all got to be repotted, possibly into single pots. They've got a size where they are an optimum size when they will start to fade away, which is a pity. There's a few more in bloom. We've got a white one there. Look at that. They've all got to be put into new pots. This plant here we're looking at is on its way out. They do reach an optimum size and then they kick the proverbial bucket. It's a great pity, but it comes to us all in the end. One there. Now in here, I'm going to move that thing out of the way. I've got a few seedlings, you've probably seen these before, but they have advanced a bit. These are Seedling Pleiospilos simulans. They're all my own collected seed, but from genuine plants from the area called Pearson in South Africa. There's the adult, there's two adults there with the flower, and a lovely two fat seed capsules. When they're ripe, I shall be taking those out and perhaps trying to germinate them. Some of them might go to the society. Funny enough, I was asked by one of the members in Australia about getting seeds, and I was told by a fellow member of the Cactus Society that I had to be very careful, and suggested that this person should contact the secretary of the Mesem study group, as they were lithop seeds he was after, because they would know what stuff can be sent to Australia. I didn't realise that. I would have just put them in an envelope and sent them, but it seems you can't do that. So if that member's looking in here, I'm hoping that has answered. I will answer you on the entry you left for me and try and be as helpful as I can. Because I'm only putting these in really for myself, just to show the advances of what they're doing. You'll see these later, they're all in bud. These are your silver skins, the Agaderma. The expert on these was Heidi Hartmann of Germany. Unfortunately, she is no longer with us. Great pity. But she worked on these and reduced the naming to much less number of species. She went out to the Nesverlacta and collected all the types she could, with obviously data which she wrote down, and from that she reduced them quite considerably. So you might see plants going under names which are no longer valid, but don't worry, grow the plants. There's buds coming on that one. So when they come out, I'll give another quick YouTube of these. I've always liked Agadermas. The name Agara means silver. Silver is Argentium. Argentina, named after the fact that silver was discovered there. Now, leaving those, have another look at some more plants of Pleiospilos simulans. A lot of these were the original plants which I've tickled up with the old paintbrush, and look at those lovely big fat seed capsules. There must be thousands of seeds there. There's probably more plants in seed form than in habitat. I don't know. It's a nice plant, and it's the true shape. The underside of the leaves should not have a keel. I can show this on these ones here. You see that one, the underside is not keeled. It's got a line, but it doesn't bulge out. It should be smooth inwards. It's hard to explain what I really want to talk about. Let's see if we can see it on that one. There's a big old plant there. See that part there, it should be more or less smooth from the bottom up to the point of the apex of the leaves. Similar in fact to Corydoxus peculiaris. If you know what peculiaris looks like, it's that sort of shape. I know they're both mesems, but they're quite far away in evolution. Anyhow, that's the Pleiospilos simulans. Well pleased with these. Next door, I had to bring these in because these were in the garden. They look a bit untidy at the moment. Pereskia. Pereskia is a true cactus with leaves. That one's got the reddish leaves. Pereskia aculeata variety Godseffiana. Another one there. We look heavy, you might see, I'll show it on, oh here we are. You look down there, you will see spines and an areole, which is the trademark of a true cactus. So Pereskia, they're mainly grown as curios. I like anything unusual, so I've got some. And these grew fairly well outside in the garden during summertime. The only problem was the slugs and snails also liked them, so they were brought in here. I've got some slug bait down, as you may see on some of the stuff. What else we've got? We've got too much at the moment. There's a few more conos in bloom. The yellow one there. One lithops which didn't survive. So rather than stay there and let it get mouldy and pass on disease, I've slung it out. That one's okay. The plant we're looking at now, I don't know whether that's going to survive. I don't think it will. I think it's got to the age where it's going to fold over. That's Gymnoclysium mihanovichii, the red form. It's a cultivar. It was on a nice stock, but unfortunately the stock died. And this plant needs the stock to grow because the stock has got chlorophyll in it and the plant itself hasn't. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a little bit of the stock still there, so we'll see. This instrument we're looking at, I do like certain gadgets. Some gadgets are a waste of time, but this is quite good. It simply tells you by dipping in the pointer in the soil whether it needs water or not. It really tests the resistance in the water. Water with something in it will conduct electricity. Pure water won't, but the water we use and the soil and that, it will work, and I find these are handy. Probably give a demonstration. I've just watered these Pereskias. I'm putting it in now. Oh, good. And as you see, it's moved up a bit. You really need two hands to do this. Let's try the Agadermas. It's rather interesting. You can see by using that just how deep the water penetrates. In this case, it only penetrates about 1 inch or so. Well, this is adequate because, as I say, we're going towards the autumn, and I don't want the stuff to be damp and hanging on for a long time. So it will get the water it needs by slowly penetrating into lower levels in the soil. Because if you water these too much, this is what happens. You split the actual heads. Very easily done. Another one there. But the beauty is, the following year you get a new body formed, and the splits do not show themselves, they've gone. Yeah, let's have a quick look at over the other side. Not much here, just odds and ends. These two plants are Brugmansias, and I hadn't noticed that. Huh. I hadn't noticed that. They're in bud. Brugmansia, they're poisonous, so be careful. Brugmansia, the other one is not in bud. Well, I hadn't noticed that. As I said before, there's always a surprise. Come down to the greenhouse, there's always a nice surprise. And hopefully that will open up later on. They're a long tubular flower. Prefer greenhouse cultivation though. But these were both standing outside with the Prescias, but now they're in. Moving along a little bit further, we've got another Prescia here, and this seems to be characteristic with these. The leaves go black and drop off. As far as I remember, it done this last year. I was a bit worried. I thought, what's it doing that? But don't worry, just keep it out of the frost. It's got quite a nice thick stem. This one I believe is Prescia dias ramiana. Look at the name out. Romarona. There's the name. I think it's that one. The flowers, which I can't show you because it's been and gone, are a pink colour. So there we are, that's the Prescia. And further down here we've got a plant which I don't know what this one is. So if anyone recognises it, please tell me what it is. As far as I know, it came from Spain. A friend of mine went over to Spain and visited a very good cactus grower who sells the plants. He was in England originally, but he's now in, it's either Spain or Portugal, I think it's Spain. And the plant came from there, so I don't quite know what it is. Someone out there will know. So if you know, please tell me. I keep seeing stuff I think all the time. I don't know, but I haven't tickled these up. Now the ones you can see in flower are Lapidaria margaretae. Lapidaries are sort of a link between Dinteranthus and Lithops. Doing rather well. The time now is 2:43 and they're fully open. Well pleased about that. The other ones are in bud. I might have to get my tickling stick and tickle those up. At the back, a few youngsters of Simulans and Nelli. Also those at the back. This is a tray of Gibeum heathii, the remains of my magnificent plant which I lost. Very upset about that. This plant has got a lot of history. It goes back many, many years. The plant is probably older than me. It was enormous and it just suddenly went. But what was on it was some heads which I took out. and they have nicely rooted. As you can see, they're firm. We'll pot those up, and this is a nice clone. It's a clone which does clump up fairly readily. I'll look next year to potting those up. Also, I've got to chop these up and pot them up singly. The old baby's toes, fenestrarias. As I say, they're probably crosses because they're not a pure white and they're not a pure yellow, so they're a bit of a mixture. But not to worry, they'll probably be put into pots and may be able to sell at the local branch. You never know. Put a label on it and make them look nice, and they'll probably sell. Well, everyone, I've been chatting away much too long. I'm going to go now. As I said, any questions please ask. Please subscribe. And as I say, I will do further videos of the stuff that's in bud, so you can see what it looks like, because the Agadermas are quite nice when they open up. And just before I go, I just noticed, I didn't notice that earlier, I was talking about that Pereskia. Look what I've found. There's a flower on it. I didn't see that at the back. After all, I am waiting for a cataracts operation, so my eyes are not 100%. And lo and behold, we've got another one there. I think that's showing up. Typical cactus flower. Typical. And as I say, we were showing on the other one areoles and the spines. Less obvious on this particular species, but nevertheless they're there, and you will find them if you move the plant about or try and pot it up. They're just as dangerous as a normal cacti. I notice at the back there, I think we'll probably just get that. That's a Puntia which will grow outside. It will take frost. It grows up into Canada where it gets blooming cold. I'm half Canadian, and my mother told me about it many years ago. When they get cold weather, they get cold weather. And there's the plant there. This was supplied by ISI, International Succulent Institute, many years ago. Few odds and ends. As I say, this time I have to put the plants in where I can and try and give them a bit of comfort. We've got an orchid at the back there. I know nothing about orchids. There's an orchid cacti there, an epiphyllum. They're untidy looking things. And my Christmas cacti have not done very good. So it might be a case of potting those up and starting them off again. Anyhow, I'm gonna stop talking too long. I've got a sore throat. So once again, please subscribe. Please ask questions. Any comments, good or bad, preferably good. But it's all publicity. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll get back to you with something else. I don't know yet, but I'll get back with something. Thanks for watching.